Good morning, everybody. Chris Wilson, Modified Independence, 7 Minutes for Seniors, here with Ashley Michaelis, Empowered Voice Rehab. This is our fifth and final segment. Thank you for being on the other four segments. If you haven't seen them, go back and check them out. This segment is all about the future. As far as I'm concerned, like thinking about the future is how you advance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't dwell on spilled milk, or you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, however you want to say it, right? So, first question: if I could introduce you to anybody, living, dead, fiction, nonfiction, whoever, anybody, who would it be and why?
Oh man, oh.
I get the best answer to this question. That's a really hard one. I wasn't prepared for that. First name that pops in your mind. I don't know because I just went blank. You asked me that and my brain just went absolutely blank. Nobody's gonna be slighted by being left out. This is really difficult.
I think I would really be interested in meeting with someone like and talking to someone like Malala Yousafzai.
Who is that?
She is the Middle Eastern woman who was was tortured and then released, and she does a lot of like advocacy work now.
Okay. All right.
I think it would be phenomenal to talk with someone like that for
Okay.
a little bit of time and find out their like.
So that's my next
story.
question. What would you ask her?
Oh boy, how do you move forward from something so traumatic to doing something with so much purpose? Like, how do you get to that point?
I remember, I'm not familiar with that name. I can't wait to go home and Google this person. But I remember there was a doctor, a professor of theology, I think, at Harvard, who was a concentration camp survivor. And he was talking about even though they were torturing him, he did not allow himself to feel misery or feel pity for himself, because he wasn't going to give them the ability to make him feel that way. He's like, it's just a phase of my life. It was a terrible thing that happened to me, but if I dwell on it, then it just gives them power.
Right.
And it's just fascinating to see people go through like the worst possible things
Right.
and somehow come out, without, I don't know. If something like that happened to me, I'd probably just be a raving lunatic.
Oh,
I don't think I have the ability to be calm, if something like that happened to me. But this people that just endure the most amazing things and somehow come out of it on the other end.
Yep.
So that's fascinating. They're really cool. I'll have to look up her story, and I'll put her information down here once I find her. So thank you. That's a really cool answer. I'm always fascinated with what people say. And you pick somebody from the present. Sometimes people pick somebody from the way past, and I'm like, would you bring them forward or would you go back to them? But in this case, she's obviously current. So, okay. So then the other half of this, since we work with seniors, okay, this question has evolved, and I think I've settled on this question. What does retirement look like for you?
Oof. To be perfectly honest, I don't think I'll ever retire.
Right. But like, what kind of things do you feel like you're doing to get ready even now at your age for retirement?
I think that I struggle with the concept of retirement because I look at the current state of the world and I wonder if we're going to be at a place where retirement is a thing when I'm that age. I also am somebody who just likes to keep their brain engaged in something very intellectual on a day-to-day basis. So I have a hard time with the concept of moving away from doing work altogether.
Yeah.
But I mean, saving for retirement with retirement accounts is important, and we do it. But
do you have your life? You have your life plan. Do you have your estate plan and your will? And
we have talked through some of that more recently with the kids and getting that established. I have to admit that I am not as on top of that as I should be, but I know I should be on top of it. We have discussed it though. Like my husband knows exactly what I would want done in the event that something happened. And so, but yes, living wills are very important. Advanced directives are very important. You should definitely have them. So I'm kind of being hypocritical here saying that because I don't have them myself, but I should.
I'm kind of in the same boat, but it's amazing how we know how important it is for people, but we're not thinking about mortality in that way.
Yeah.
Have you had that discussion with his parents or your parents?
So I know that my parents do have advanced directives and living wills and everything. They were both, my dad's a doctor, my mom's a nurse, and they're very on top of that. Probably more so than I am. And they have kind of always said, we've got everything planned out so that you don't have to worry about anything. So don't worry about it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's the peace of mind that we should have as kids, right?
Yeah. And we've had some discussions with my husband's parents as well. And I think they've got most of their plans made. So it's not something that I think about often,
right?
But yeah, it's important to think about.
Yeah. In the context of what we do, that's why I like to ask the question, because I'm always fascinated, like who's actually prepared. You're kind of on the young end of the spectrum of the people that I've interviewed, so it's funny to ask some of the older folks, and it's like you're in the room with these people talking about how important this is, and you haven't done those things.
And it's interesting because one of the things that I do is end of life planning for seniors, with figuring out what they want as far as their nutrition and hydration goals and communication goals. And I know I have it in my mind exactly what I would want.
Right.
And I've talked with that at length with my husband.
Right.
And he's told me, at length, because he's nursing too, so he gets it. But we just don't have it written down.
Absolutely.
So that's what we need to do next. That's the next step.
There you go. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me to your home. Thank you for being on the program. This has been 7 Minutes for Seniors. This is Ashley. I'm Chris. Y'all have a great day. Reach out to her if you have any questions.